Welcome back to the Sun Devil Champions League 2023. We're here for our second semifinal match between AC Milan and Manchester City. Before we get to the action, let's take a quick look back and see how each team got to this match.
David plays at Manchester City. He came second to Borussia Dortmund. In order to get here, he had to beat out Bayern Leverkusen and Sporting Portugal. Antonio is playing as AC Milan. In the group stage, he had a positive 8-goal differential against his opponents. He won his entire group and had to beat Chelsea and Salzburg to get there. He also beat Inter Milan and Liverpool, which was a very close game. Got it.
Now let's take a look at each team, starting with Manchester City. They're widely considered one of the best teams in the world. Their star power includes the likes of the Netherlands' Kevin De Bruyne, as well as Erling Haaland, a goal almost per game scorer, no matter where he's competing. They're one of the best teams coming out of the English Premier League and heavily favored to win the whole Champions League this year.
And for AC Milan, their top scorers are Rafael Leao, considered the #1 scorer in all of the Italian Serie A. Nearly a quarter of his shots end up in goals.
Now, let's join the action in our game already in progress. We're in the 4th minute with Manchester City moving the ball up the field, but some solid defense there by AC Milan to win it back and begin their own counterattack.
Milan in possession now. It'll be interesting to see how would Milan almost be considered the underdogs in this type of situation against such a powerhouse team like Manchester City?
I think outside of PSG, everybody's an underdog in this situation.
Oh, beautiful. Way to be aggressive there for Milan, scoring it back after just to prevent the ball really from getting in there in any scenario. They're passing it tightly amongst themselves, which is good, not letting the ball wander off into the likes of Milan's defense. Oh, nice sneak right there, but it's staved by the goalkeeper, passing possession back to Milan.
You know, in our last semifinal, we watched a PSG team that really likes to just bomb the ball down the field to their strikers as fast as possible. I suspect with this Manchester City team, we're going to see a structure that's more akin to really trying to move the ball forward from their defense to their midfield and get everybody involved in the rush.
Easy steal there by Manchester for just a second, though, before Milan takes it back.
It seems as though AC Milan, knowing that the typical Manchester City strategy is to really start the rush from their back line, is trying to win the ball back early on the offensive half of the field to really try to stymie that Manchester City offense from getting going. And I mean, that is the way to play if you're going to beat this team, with the likes of Erling Haaland already sitting there on the goal mouth, ready for any ball to come in to just quickly tap in for any number of goals. He's one of the best goal scorers in the world right now.
It would be really neat to see how Milan is gonna pull those defenses like that, and way to be aggressive there from Milan. Can they save it there? Bit of a pass over to Manchester. Now they're gonna skillfully try and take it down the field, but it is intercepted by Milan, gaining possession again. Got to try and keep it tight within themselves because they know that Manchester's going to try and come out and steal that ball back if they can. The defense right now, very intimidating, just surrounding whoever's got the ball. They're trying, yes, the defense, oh yeah, they're forming like a wall right there. Milan's got to be very decisive, very careful with what they're doing, and they're doing great right now. They're being careful. Very close, taking the shot, and that is a goal right there from Milan. Incredible. Their patience paid off.
There we go. Goal from Zlatan, who did spend some time in the MLS here in the United States before going back to Europe to play with AC Milan.
Nice. All right, Milan start off this point with a bit of possession, and they might try and fight for it back now.
Here goes Erling Haaland. Are we about to see our first goal? And we are. Manchester City gets on the board from Erling Haaland.
Nice. Milan starting out this point with the possession, keeping it tight amongst themselves and trying to really, they have to be careful around Manchester's defense. But they're playing it well. They're playing it really well, actually. They just keep the ball in motion. That seems to be their strategy. Keep the ball in motion amongst their players. It was snagged up there by Manchester, who's going to send it down. But another interception there by Milan strikers.
But another offsides.
Offsides call. Manchester starting with the possession.
Working the ball up the wing, staying out wide. Oh, the pass into the box, though, just cut off by the Milan defense.
That would have been a very beautiful yet easy pass, though. So luckily Milan was there to stop that easy pass from being completed.
Milan now setting up their counterattack. Really just working to maintain possession, to allow their players to get in position for offensive opportunities.
Milan players sticking tight together, but the defense is mirroring that. Defense from Manchester was mirroring that as well, staying tight, knowing that the ball is super close to the net, so their defense is going to be aggressive. Milan gains possession very close to the goal, but it is swept out of there by Manchester. Beautiful save right there. Manchester now in possession. They have a bit of a wide open shot, sprinting it down the field, launching it yards. It's a bit of a wide open shot. They're going to have to take it. Oh, and a save right there by Milan's goalkeeper.
That was a nearly identical shot to the first goal by Erling Haaland.
Yes.
Grealish with a good challenge there to slow things down.
The more yards they have between them and their goal, the more dangerous it is and the more opportunities they have to mess up. So Milan trying to get those yards, get it far away from Manchester is an impressive, it's a smart tactic. Milan very close to their goal. Saved there by Milan's goalie. Sent down the field. Oh, Manchester. Milan keeping it tight amongst themselves. The defense on Manchester was slightly loose there, but they did manage to get it back for a brief second until Milan gains possession again. The defense, though, for Manchester is very tight. At least they were. They're spreading out a little bit, making the field wide open for Milan strikers right now. They keep passing it in and amongst themselves. That's what I've noticed, is that they really like to keep this ball in motion, and I don't just mean moving it down the field, like moving it in between and amongst their players. That method of keeping it in motion is a strategy that they've inherited. A beautiful shot right there for Milan. Another goal right there for Milan. That was a great strike. They were really close, though, so the defense on Manchester was a little... Oh, is that going to be half?
And we are at the half.
Nice.
So it is 2-1 for Milan at the half. It's been a close game, a lot of defense. I expect to see Manchester City really try to open up some scoring here in the second half, but so far it just looks like another quick surrendering of the ball right back to the opposition.
Milan took the chance right there to strike there, but it was a bit of an easy save for the goalie. They're going to corner it in. Milan see if they can meander around the defense, but no, they were just too strong right there. So Manchester now gains possession, and Manchester's going to try and move it down. They have a bit of an open field right now. They're going to send it. Oh, wow. Oh.
Haaland just couldn't get cleanly on that ball.
Possession goes back to Milan, keeping it tight amongst themselves. Like I said, just keeping it moving. They always keep the ball in motion, almost making Manchester have to sprint for it every time. A bit of an open shot, but Manchester gets there first and gets the possession of the ball. It's easy steal by Milan right there. Moving it amongst their own triangular motion right there, amongst their own teammates in close proximity. A bit of a stall there, so it was easy for Manchester to maintain possession. And another save there by Milan's goalie. Milan maintains possession, but they're also going to try that trick to gain some yards. Unfortunately, Manchester has beat them to it, maintaining possession for a brief second. Milan bringing out that aggression, though, the aggression that they know they need to bring out over such a powerhouse team like Manchester. Milan gaining possession again. Defense is a little tight on them, so they're going to have to be really careful with how they maneuver their offense now. Bit of an open shot. Oh, and they take it. Easy save, though, there by Manchester's goalie. It's all right, though. Milan, we've seen it in this game. They're going to fight for possession of the ball, and once they do have it, they're going to play smart with it. They're not going to make it easy to get it back. Close to the goal line. Out of bounds. And we're going to go off with a corner kick from Milan towards their players. Let's see if they can...
Oh, snagged by the goalie there.
There we go. Milan, though, still maintains possession after all that. A bit of a interception there by Manchester. They're going to carry it down the field. Milan's defense better try and swoop in and see if they can save that. That was a good save. That was a good sprint right there executed by Milan. Milan maintaining possession now, sprinting down the field. A bit of a block right there from Manchester. But again, Milan still maintains their possession after Manchester's heavy defense. Manchester maintains possession now. Close maintaining right there. Milan's defense might want to get on top of them quickly. Just like that is how Milan gains possession again. A bit of a wide open space for them. They're a tight defense. Yeah, that was not going to be good for them. They cleared it out, but Milan's there to recover. Right near the sideline. They're being really careful now about the defense was just hounding on them, essentially. They're going to, now that they're closer together and the defense is tighter, they're going to keep that tighter, more intimate passes amidst each other. But Manchester is starting to realize their strategy and play into that. And so now Manchester has become more aggressive on their own defense to get the balls in their possession. Milan maintaining possession closely together. Defense from Manchester is very tight on them. A lot of men per one offense kicker. Oh, beautiful save right there by goalkeeper. There's also a lot of defense crowded around. Manchester maintained possession for a brief second there. Milan now passing it in and amongst themselves from the midfield. They got to be real intimate here because that's the strategy they've been playing along and it's worked. Unfortunately, the defense on Manchester there really, they're realizing what Milan's doing and they nicked it right out of bounds. Milan on the corner. Bit of hesitation there that may have cost them and then Manchester takes advantage of that. But Milan maintains possession yet again. Just their sheer aggressive defense is really unmistakable. Bit of a slip there, so Milan maintains possession for a brief second. Bit of a spat there between two players. Milan still on the possession. They gotta be careful of that aggressive defense. Those intimate passes back and forth seem to be their strategy against the aggressive defense of Manchester. Bit of a shot right there and a diving save by Manchester's goalie. Corner kick now for Milan. Milan races to maintain possession. Beautiful passes in and amongst each other. These are great intentional passes. And almost right over the top of the goal net right there. Milan is incredible on this offense. They are really, when they're near the goal, they attack. They take those risks and attack. Oh, I believe that was hit right on the outside. So the goalkeeper for Manchester is going to kick it in. Manchester has a bit of an open space to try and gain some yards down the field if they can. But the defense on Milan is going to be tight and aggressive, and it's going to be intercepted right there, and they're not going to let go of the ball once they have it. We've found out that it's dangerous for Manchester once Milan has possession because it is very difficult for them to let go of it, and they don't let go of it easily without a fight. Right here, Milan Milan in possession, getting closer to the goal, and we realize once they're closer to the goal, they're just going to take those action shots like that. Unfortunately, that was a miss, a little too far to the left. Manchester's goalie kicking it in very carefully. They're just going to be a little smarter, around, a little more intimate now around. Oh, and that is game right there, ladies and gentlemen. That was a very interesting, close game. Both teams showed great signs of aggression. Milan, recognizing the players they were up against, played an amazing game, and they're gonna take the victory on this game for the first match of this semifinal matchup. Milan's gonna take it 2-1.
All right, and we're back for our second leg of the semifinal matchup between Manchester City and AC Milan.
Milan starting off this possession. Tonali to Leao. Leao to Tonali. To Brahim to Leao. Benacer to Leao. Steered there by Foden to Diaz. To Walker. Walker going to sprint it down the field, hand it over to Haaland. Calabria, Grealish, and Haaland in a bit of a spat right there. Messias gets it back. Messias is maintaining possession. Got to be careful, though, around that Manchester defense. To Tomori. To Calabria. To Benacer. Benacer to Messias. In and amongst each other. To Ibrahimovic. Diaz gaining possession now. Between Leao and Foden. Haaland now in possession. Haaland far down the field. Going to go for the strike. A little bit of hesitation. Haaland and Kalulu. Messias now in possession. Messias and Brahim and Messias. Back to Brahim. Back to Messias. Sending it a little backwards to Kalulu. Sending it forward to Benacer. Forward to Messias. Shot attempt there by Ibrahimovic. Calabria in possession. Grealish sprinting it down the field, now in the possession. Going to take the shot. A little bit of hesitation and a miss. Defense right there. Picked up by Hernandez. Hernandez passing it to goalkeeper. Passing it to Tomori. Tomori sending it. Grealish in possession. Gonna sprint it. Passing to Haaland. Strike there. Slight. That's a little heartbreaking. To the little to the right of the goal. To Kalulu. Kalulu back to Tomori. Tomori to Hernandez. To Tomori. Taken by Walker on Manchester. Manchester sending it to Foden. Foden being wary of the defense. Tonali to Leao. Back to Tonali. Back to Benacer. Bit of intimidating defense from Manchester. To Ibrahimovic, but it is picked up by Ederson. Goalie for Manchester. Fight for possession here. Calabria and Grealish. Ake passing from the sideline. Kalulu in possession, passing to Messias. Messias to Ibrahimovic. Back to Messias. Messias going to carry. Picked up by defense, though. Foden in possession. Haaland now in possession. Passing to Haaland now in possession. Making the strike and a near miss right at the top bar. Messias in possession. Bit of aggressive defense there. Back to Calabria. Back to Messias. Towards Benacer. Benacer to Messias. Back to Benacer. Oh, defense picked up by De Bruyne from... Back to Rorty and Foden. And now to Haaland for Manchester. Rorty in defense for a brief second. Walker in possession. Walker to Haaland. Haaland with a pass, but it is off the sideline. Grealish starting from the side. De Bruyne with the corner. And Manchester's going to maintain possession again. Walker from Manchester. He's got a bit of a wall of defense around him. Picked up by Hernandez to Tonali. Tonali got to be careful with that defense. Passing it to Leao. Manchester regaining possession. De Bruyne to Diaz to Walker. Leao maintaining possession for Milan. Leao to Brahim. Brahim back to Leao. Leao to Brahim. Back to Leao. And that is defended there from Diaz from Manchester. Messias now in possession. Tonali to Brahim to Leao. Foden now in possession from Manchester. Tabori and Tonali. Hernandez now in possession from Milan to Tonali. Pass to Messias. Grealish to Haaland from Manchester. Haaland now in possession. Pass back to Grealish. Back to Haaland. Oh, bit of an interception there from Milan defense. Pass to Calabria. Calabria to Messias. Messias to Ibrahimovic. Passing to Brahim, but it is picked up by Manchester defense. De Bruyne is in possession now. Tonali picks it up. Haaland and Foden. Foden to Haaland. Haaland in possession. Is Haaland going to go for the strike? And that's a score right there. Goal for Manchester City. Haaland's first goal of the game. Bringing the score to 1-0 Manchester.
And that's the half.
There you go.
So far, this half has been a very defensive battle.
Absolutely.
Plenty of chances, but lots of great goaltending to match.
Absolutely.
Something to keep an eye out here. The aggregate goal is wrong. Goal total is wrong again, just like it was in the last semifinal. So be on the lookout for the own goal to fix that score.
All right. Definitely both teams are going to provide a healthy competition for each other. Manchester City, considered one of the best teams in the world against AC Milan, who is very highly regarded in their Italian league. Both teams, though, are going to put up a good fight for each other, and they are going to fight for their spot in the semifinals as well.
And really, unlike our matchup between Dortmund and PSG, this is not the goal-scoring shootout you expected.
No, exactly. All right, we're coming back from the half. Tonali from the corner.
It looks like they might try to correct it here, but the AI goalie is doing its level best to keep the ball out of its own net.
Own goal there.
There we go. There is the own goal to correct the aggregate goal total.
Manchester starting the possession, but Milan gets it back to Messias. Messias in possession. Defense from Grealish to Haaland. Haaland in possession. And Haaland with another score right there, bringing the score to 2-1. Manchester up by 1 for this match. Milan win possession. Messias. Messias to Benacer. To Kalulu to Benacer. Back to Messias. Staying wary of the defense. Calabria to Benacer. To Tonali. Defense very aggressive from Manchester. Back to Messias, to Calabria, back to Messias. De Bruyne to Foden. Foden now in possession for Manchester. Tonali in possession. Leao in possession for Milan. Eking near the sidelines. Getting closer to the goal. To Krunic. Back to Leao. Manchester in possession. Holland now. Holland in possession. Holland going to line up for that goal strike. Bit of maneuvering. Defense there from Milan. Hernandez in possession. Hernandez to Leao. Leao interception. Walker and De Bruyne. De Bruyne to Holland. Hernandez now in possession. Hernandez to Tomori. To Kalulu. Kalulu to Calabria. Calabria to Messias. Messias back to Calabria. To Benacer. To Krunic. To Benacer. Ake now in possession for Manchester. Krunic now. Krunic to Benacer. Holland now in possession for Manchester. Interception there by Tomori for Milan. Back to Krunic. Hernandez now in possession. To goalkeeper for Milan. Pass to Tomori. Tomori to Benacer. Benacer to Calabria. Calabria to Krunic. Defense there from Milan. Holland now in possession. Grealish in possession. Grealish pass to Holland. Interception by Kalulu. Goal is picked up. Calabria in possession to Tomori. Tomori back to Calabria. To Messias. To Benacer. Ake picking up possession from Manchester. Ake to Holland. Holland to Silva. But it's picked up by Tonali. Tonali being careful. Back to Messias. Is Milan going to go for the strike here? Oh, and it's D'd out. Ederson from Manchester. Oh, we're going to take a bit of a break here now. I think we're going to get some subs in.
It looks as though Milan really trying to put some fresh legs up front to make the most of this opportunity to close out a series.
Yes, definitely. This game is not decided. They are very close. We've got about 25 minutes left in this game, or 15 minutes left in this game. 15 minutes left. 3-2 aggregate goal total. Foden in possession, intercepted by Tonali. Tonali to Leao. Leao in possession. To Hernandez. Hernandez being careful. To Krunic. Intercepted there by Diaz from Manchester City. Holland now in possession. Holland going to run this distance. Going to get a lot of distance there. Line it up for a strike. Foden there with a goal. That'll bring us up by 2. Manchester City up by 2. The score is 3-1 for this match. Milan in possession. Rebic in possession. Rebic got a wide open shot. Is he going to take it? Defended there by the goalie. Defense there was very aggressive for Manchester. Love to see it. Walker to De Bruyne. De Bruyne going at the length of the field now. The defense for Milan's going to try and catch up. De Bruyne to Walker. Walker with a strike attempt right there to get in the goal. Near miss. Kalulu in possession. Calabria in possession.
We're in the final 10 minutes here in the 83rd minute.
Hernandez to Tonali. Interception by Manchester. Picked up again by Krunic and Milan. Grealish on the possession. Intercepted by Tomori for Milan. Milan to Rebic. Laporte to Ake from Manchester. Rebic in possession. Rebic to Calabria. Out of bounds. With a silent there, throw in. Grealish possession for a little bit, but Milan's going to get it back. Tonali to Benacer. They got to be careful here with the defense. Krunic there for a strike. Oh, close miss right there. That was very close to coming in. Yeah, yellow card there. Manchester's goalie.
No, it looks like a yellow card on Laporte for that shove on the Milan forward.
Yeah. Leao with the penalty kick. And that's a goal there for Milan.
They're now 1 goal away from tying this series back up.
Manchester starting with the possession. Defense there by Calabria. Benacer with the possession. Bit of a wide open space for running, for sprinting. Silvio on defense. Pass to Rebic. Rebic to Benacer. Benacer to Krunic. And a strike right there. Defended.
Good job there by Manchester City to go ahead and just clear that ball out.
And that's game.
Manchester City is your winners, and they'll be moving on to the finals. That was a hard-fought defensive match. It'll be interesting to see, with Manchester City being such a defensive team here against their opponent PSG, who clearly loves to shoot and really move the ball forward for the attack, how those teams will match up in the finals.
Absolutely. Should be an exciting matchup.